Hey, what is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video, so y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. Now, as promised, I said we would do a part 2 and react to another clip of Orlando Brown in his most recent interview that he's done on YouTube, right? Just to start things off, I do want to say I appreciate all the love from that video. Everybody saying that, at least the people that want to get it or, are interested in the theories of what he talks about as far as the whole trading spirits and, consciousness transfer and all of that good stuff. Everybody showed hella love, saying I broke it down to a point to where you can understand it. And really, that's what my channel has been all about, ever since I started it. I guess just, trying to make the average person be able to listen and understand it, like not trying to be too complex and, make things difficult or try to sound really smart like you know everything. I just want to reach the average person and make them, be able to see what's actually going on in this world. So felt really good reading all the comments like, the breakdown was dope, blah, blah, blah. I just want to say I appreciate that from y'all. Read a bunch of comments and, everybody seemed to be on the same page. Now, obviously, you get them comments where people, y'all listening to a crackhead, can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. I don't pay that stuff no mind because, there's just not a single piece in my heart, that makes me think that this stuff isn't possible, And in this video, I think I just want to go over one clip that he talked about and then also kind of talk about some movies that relate to this topic as well. As far as the whole trading spirits thing, maybe we could talk about Skeleton Key, a little bit of Get Out, and I think it was another movie I saw a couple of y'all talking about in the comments, because y'all were really, on it and saying movies that basically represent this topic. So without me talking too much in this intro, y'all, we'll go ahead and jump into the clip that I found pretty interesting. That's from a later part in the interview. And yeah, man, we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about this topic. So check this out.
So, Orlando, let me ask you, because you literally grew up in Hollywood. Is Hollywood not your playground? Is it not the devil's playground then? I mean, is it not where live?
You won't say that. But what you will say is the devil is nice. Very nice person. I was caught screaming at Satan in Tao. Get behind me, Satan, is what I said. I saw Satan. He was him. We're here. Jehovah's here. Lucifer's here. All of my friends live. Don't you get the joke? It's on them. Statues are just statues, but people are just real people. We're not going to just be statues. There's a Lucifer, there's a Satan, there is a Beelzebub, there is an Astaroth, there is a Jesus, there is, we're real people.
So let me ask, a documentary comes out called Quiet on Set. And it speaks on the Nickelodeon All That cast. Oh, shit. Oh man, not the exhale.
Well, I won't do shout out to Nick Cannon. I won't do his money like that. What I will do is I'll say that the owner of Nickelodeon is Jeffrey Epstein. The guy that they've been trying to follow. And okay, now look at the characteristics of everything they said and then look at everything that he did.
I see a head honcho.
I'm not gonna do that to Nick's money though. That's my brother. Like, I'm not doing that to Tito.
A lot of black people came out and said we didn't see that stuff, but when you hear the Amanda Bynes story, Drake and Josh, for these young white kids, it sounded like they got put through the ringer.
I won't do that.
Okay.
I feel like it was wrong what happened over at Nickelodeon, but it's like more good weighs out the bad. I never had to work for Nickelodeon. I work for Disney. We don't do those things.
What do you think about Walt Disney?
Walt is my fucking dad. You dig? So I can't be like, well, you know, it's been a very big conspiracy, right? So Walt Disney tried to kill his son. You know, Saint Joseph tried to kill me. Raven was involved. Everybody was involved. The entire industry, Denzel Washington, everybody was involved. Everybody, you know, to wear my skin. And they found out that that's just not cool for certain people. Certain people don't deserve to die because they cool. That's me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can talk about this. My nigga, do I gotta just do that? Like yeah, bro. Like,
Wait, hold on. If someone was a young child, 8 years old now, trying to go work for Walt Disney right now, like literally,
I would literally be like, get your bag. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes to the parent. The parent is the person that has to say, he can go in that quiet room. It has nothing to do. It's these parents, these pageant parents.
See, now in that clip, that's what made me think Orlando Brown is a host for some of these entities, or, you know, if you want to call them familiar spirits that we've been talking about, because he continuously uses the word we. Now, you know, it could be something simple, and it could just be, you know, that's how he's choosing to word it, or in his mind, he just thinks of it differently, and he uses the word we. But, you know, I just thought it was interesting because he was basically, you know, how he was saying, you know, we aren't going to be statues, and went on to say that, you know, Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Asaroth, you know, all of these deities are here, which, you know, he was basically naming the demonic trinity, you know, Asaroth, Beelzebub, Prince of Darkness, Lucifer. Y'all already know how that goes. You know, just like how I was saying in the last video. Now, it's kind of like the guy who does the interview, he asks him these questions, but I don't think he really knows how to respond to it. Once Orlando Brown finishes what he has to say, he just moves on to another question. Because he said, you were born in Hollywood, isn't that the devil's playground? And, you know, he responded with, the devil is a nice person. He met the devil, he saw Satan, he was telling Satan, you know, get behind me. But it goes right back to what I was saying about them familiar spirits. He's almost speaking as if that's not him talking. It just feels weird kind of listening to him say it and watching his facial expressions. And then how he went on to say, you know, he was saying, my friends are here. Like, as in, we live, like, we're here. Now, we know Satan is here. It's, you know, that Antichrist energy, that spirit, it's here. It's running rampant through people. And I feel like that is what he was saying. Like, you know, he was saying Asaroth, you know, Jesus, Beelzebub, like these are real people because the spirit of Jesus, the Holy Spirit, is here and it's in us as well. Just like those demonic spirits are in people as well. So I feel like that is what he was saying. but it was in the Orlando Brown way, and it was like very complex to a person that's just trying to listen to it. They're just like, what is he talking about? Because that's why I feel like he used "we are here," but it's almost like, that spirit is talking in a sense. I don't know why this intrigues me so much listening to it, because I'm sure a lot of people who've had deals with the devil will say he is nice. Yeah, it gives us what we want. Even people in everyday life, normal people that, it seems like they get everything before you, and they don't do nothing the right way. They don't live right. They don't work hard like you. They don't go to work every day on time. They cheat through life. They scam. They do a little bit of this and that. They don't do it the right way. It seems like they always get what they want first, right? That's because the devil is on their side. The devil will give, like, you don't have to be out here committing the craziest crimes, but as long as you dwell in those sins and those things that hold you back long enough, he'll continue to let you reap what you're doing because you're on his side. You're winning for the devil in a sense. Like, your life is controlled by those spirits, so they allow you to get these things quicker than people who work hard and who are trying to do it the right way. Because God, he gives it to you when you need it, not necessarily when you want it. They get it when they want it. So that's kind of like how, different those two spirits run through us as humans, as in God's people and people who serve the devil without actually knowing. That's why I said just normal people. He's nice to them as well in a sense. But of course he's a trickster, and anything he gives you, you're going to pay for it. But, that's just, I don't know. I just find that interesting the way that he words it. And he goes on in that. I thought that was also very interesting. I don't even think I have to go too deep in how, he got like uppity about Disney and Nickelodeon. We all know Disney is way worse than Nickelodeon. We know they've put the child stars through MK Ultra, beta sex kitten programming. We can say that a lot of this stuff, a lot of this trauma Orlando Brown shows and has experienced has come from Disney. Obvious, he was one of the biggest child stars that came from Disney. We've seen it across the board. A lot of this stuff about Nickelodeon is just now coming out. So I don't think we got to go too deep in that, because we know Disney is by far worse. The indoctrination of kids through sex and symbolism and mind control is unbelievable. But I thought it was interesting on how he said, Walt was his dad. Obviously he's not saying that, literally, but he was saying that basically the industry was trying to kill him and everyone was involved in it. Raven, he talks about Raven a lot. Clearly there's a lot of trauma, that came from whatever they went through as kids. He even brought up Denzel Washington. I thought that was very random, but his facial expression told you everything. That it might have been random, but it was something true to that. And he said they were basically battling to wear his skin. And that's what we've been talking about here. Battling to wear his skin. And you saw his face after that, right? Like, I bring that up because most people are going to give you signals that they're lying or just talking some bullshit. And that's outside of you thinking that his entire MO is bullshit. Like, we got to get past that. Because I don't believe it is. But just look at him when he says certain shit. And he had the straightest face you could possibly put on when he said they were battling to wear my skin. And the dude doing the interview, they have nothing to say for that. And now, since we're on the topic of Denzel Washington and, the movie that he starred in 1998 called Fallen. Now, I wanted to, talk about one or two movies that pertain to trading spirits. We'll just use that term for these videos. A lot of y'all brought up this movie, and a lot of y'all brought up Skeleton Key. And of course, I think, everybody knows what Get Out was about. All of these movies are essentially the same, right? So in the movie Fallen, Denzel Washington played a detective that met a theology professor, and he was introduced to the occult, and he was chasing after a serial killer where he found out that the killings were being done by a spirit. My whole thing about this is that if we think that, y'all know how we always say the things that they put in movies and shows is the truth. You know, like if we believe that the stuff that they show us on screen, and they go out of their way to spend hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to produce these movies and shows, this stuff is, it must be true. Now, we already know that there's a such thing as, temptation and spirits, basically possessing someone enough in order for them to do their will. They use human bodies to do their will. That can involve whatever. It can go all the way up to murder. Someone murdering someone in the name of the spirit that controls them. But that's basically what this movie was about. I think I haven't seen Fallen in so long, so I think the spirit was like it would touch someone and it would just transfer into the other person. If I'm not mistaken, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen that movie particularly in years. I think that's how the evil spirit, the demonic spirit, was transferring bodies. It was just, if I'm not mistaken, it would touch the person it wanted to get to. It's like, like when he was like basically battling him at the end, and he was just getting closer and closer to Denzel by becoming the people that were close to him, basically. So, in a sense, it goes right back to trading spirits. In Skeleton Key, which is probably up there as one of my like most favorite movies when it has to do with this topic, just because for someone who's never seen it, you're completely shocked when it gets to the end of the movie. Get Out is definitely the best, like modern movie. I think for the people of our generation, it showed them a lot of what could be possibly going on, what kind of sorcery these people are actually capable of. And, in Get Out, he was like peeling the scalp back, going into the brain, and we're literally transferring, black men's consciousness. If he was healthy and good looking, good eyes, you wanted to be strong, you wanted to run fast, they were kidnapping black men, and these people were trading spirits. And now they get to live in a young, healthy body the rest of their lives. And that's basically what Skeleton Key was, which was a very good movie. So if y'all are listening to this, please go watch it if you've never seen it. And it was basically the same thing, but it wasn't more so scientific like Get Out was, or that movie The Black Box on Amazon Prime, which goes back to, y'all, if they won't waste their time and just put a movie on a streaming site like Black Box, and which was basically the same thing, a mom saving her son's consciousness in order to transfer it into another body, someone who was on their way, out of here. She was waiting for the perfect body to bring her son back, which she had his consciousness basically saved in a computer. That was like more scientific. Skeleton Key, it was done by rituals. And remember what they said, something we always talk about on this channel in Skeleton Key. You have to believe it. It wasn't possible if the person didn't believe in that hoodoo or believe in the magic. And they basically set the young girl up the entire movie. They left her breadcrumbs so she could become interested in it and seek it out herself to want to know what's going on. And the whole time, the old man in the movie couldn't speak, couldn't talk, because he was under the spell. And they had already traded spirits with him. So remember that. It's all about intent. It's all about whether you actually believe this is possible. And that's how the spell worked on the young girl in the movie. And in the end, they were able to swap and trade spirits with her. They fooled her the entire time. She tried to create a protection ritual around her, thinking it would work. But little did she know the entire time, she had already given herself to the ritual because she believed in it. And the two, they had been doing it since they I guess learned how to do the ritual. They had already, and it was so crazy. Like the first time I watched it after not seeing it for years, and I forgot how it actually happened, because they first do it when they take them outside and they hung them, but they didn't hang the two black people. They hung the two white kids that they had already traded spirits with. So think about that, y'all. For me, it makes me think about, things that the human mind, haven't seen or haven't heard or, can't put together. It makes me think about this stuff has to be possible, because how are we going to make up this kind of stuff? It's like, I don't know if I said that in a way y'all could understand it, but you know how it is. Y'all have heard it before. Like the human brain, you can't just make up something you've never seen or you never saw. Everything is rotated. You've never said something that another person hasn't said before, because there's so many people in the world. So it's we're not just imagining this kind of stuff and thinking it up out of nowhere if we're not capable of doing it. As much as trading spirits may sound crazy as hell, but I be damned. It, very well is possible. And I think it's going on, y'all. And man, wow, we live in some shit, y'all. Man. All right, y'all, but man, y'all let me know what y'all think about, this part 2 and going more into the entertainment side with the movies, so on and so on. Let me know if there's any other movies or shows out there that goes into all of this stuff. I'll be sure to check it out. I think we'll pretty much wrap up the part 2 with Orlando Brown. And yeah, man, so with that being said, y'all, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon. I'm out.